Hello and welcome to Wild West Garage. My name's Morgan and I'm standing in front of the 1950 Chevy cab that I've been working on for a while now. So I completed most of the work on the other side, as far as I want to take it anyways at this point. And so now I guess you can probably realize that I'm going to be working on this side. So I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you what I'm up against on this side. So as far as rust goes, this side of the cab is pretty much the same as the other side. And for this video, I'm just going to focus on this corner here. I'm not going to get into the sill and the cab corner in this one. So there are some differences on this side, of course, because it's got this big heavy bracket here that's for the emergency brake or the handbrake lever and all the mechanism involved with that. So that's not, I'm just gonna, I'll remove that, I'll get that out of the way. That won't interfere with what I'm doing. So this kick panel, which comes up from here, you can see, and then there's a big hole here where the part that wraps around the firewall is rusted right out here. And inside, you're gonna have to take my word for it, there's perforations all along where this joins up to this filler piece here. And then, you know, the obvious, it's all rotted out down there. At the bottom of this piece is all rotted out. Same thing here. It's the other side, the other post. It's all rotted out. I probably won't have to get up into the hinge mount area so much. I'm thinking I'm just going to cut it off here and just leave that alone, and then I don't have to form that pocket, which takes some time. And then there's some damage. The door, at some point, the door was left open, and I guess the truck was backed into something, or the door was backed into something, and it overextended the door, and the front of the door came in and caved this in here. There's a dent there. That actually looks fairly recent because the metal around is all shiny. So that was done, you know, most recently, I would suspect. And then there's this damage here around this opening. So I'm gonna try and repair all of this without cutting this off, and I'll see how that goes. This is pushed ahead as well because this got torqued. It looks twisted, so I'm gonna have to pull this back and pull this out. So I'll build some kind of a apparatus that I can, you know, just maybe weld some tabs on here, weld an anchor down here in the corner, and then I can pull that back, and that'll stretch this area out here somewhat, I hope. And this might want to come out. I'll probably have to weld a bunch of tabs on here too and tug that out. There's not a lot of strength in this, so once this starts to pull on that, it's just going to move this whole thing back. So I'm going to have to be careful how I go about this. Might have to support this out here somehow, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to get to it. I did some measuring, and this opening here is only about 1/8 of an inch bigger than the other side, so I'm not going to have to do anything too complicated to get it pulled back. Might just bolt something on here where the hinge goes and just pry it back. We'll get to that in a minute. For hours from now. This is really strong here. Just with that all those folds, this opening, really makes it strong. Don't want to pull on any one spot too hard. Kind of gradually move it out. Otherwise you end up stretching the metal more and making it a lot more difficult for yourself to get things back on straight. And I don't want to pull on this edge of this opening too much and distort this sort of trough thing here. So I'm going to get a piece of wood and stick it in behind here. This is where it's pushed in here. It didn't get hit on this lip. It got hit right here. So that's where you want to pull it out. Strong up here because there's a seam here. It's actually a lead seam here, so it's a pretty strong area. Put this across the corner a little bit. That out. Kind of distorted this a little bit. She came out a little bit too far, but that's okay. I can work that back. front edge came back into shape nicely. Some heavier dents right here where the initial impact was, I guess. I'll be able to work those out. Work that down a little bit. This has to come all up now. Of course that. Thinking I might just cut the inside of this, like the kick panel out, and then I can just beat this out along here. I'm gonna have to get into this area right here first, I think, before I start. Well, I can get this part from up here. Watch that guy that does the, calls himself the Man of Steel. The Man of Steel. He does a lot of paintless dent repair. Pretty amazing. A lot of his techniques can be applied to this sort of stuff, obviously. I'm a pain the Dent guy. That's workable now. So I'm going to have to get down in this area, drive this out. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do what I said and cut this kick panel out a little bit, knock that out. So I've decided I need to weld a tab on here, pull this part out because it's this part here is up higher than I want to cut on the kick panel. That's right, there's some louvers inside here. I don't want to cut into that part. So I just made this, kind of folded it over on itself a couple times, and then now I just think I'm hoping that I can hook into that with a bar. I'm just going to go ahead and weld this on here, kind of in the low spot. It's pretty level there, so it's not going to pull it out weird or anything. So first I'm going to weld these ends closed so that it doesn't unfold on me. Out nicely. Kind of pulling this all out too far here. I'm gonna have to knock that down as I go. Earmuffs. What the heck? Hey, if you haven't checked out my video on how I made this hammer or modified this hammer, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you might want to check that out. I think it's turned into my new favorite. have to get a tool and push this back down too. While I got tension on it. This will work. No. I'll be back. This is a tool for packing cast iron pipes together, like the I don't know what they call that stuff, on the joints. Bunch of my lights conked out. Okay, that's starting to look like it's back in shape. Now I'm going to cut this out. Should have done that before I started tugging on this, but anyways, it's looking good. So I've gone ahead and I welded this tab on here. Built it up a little bit with weld so this wire wouldn't just pull through. Did the same on this side. A little neater job. And just twisted the wire around like I'm building the fence. And that's pulled it back to the proper dimension now. So now I'm just going to go in, I've cut a hole in the back here. And I'm going to smash this out here. Smash it! Where I put my stuff down. Okay, here we go. I don't care if I get it out all the way down to here, to the bottom, because I'm going to be cutting this off. Looks like it's coming out. Nice. Oh, not nice, but it's nicer. So I've got that out about as far as I think I need to right now. So when I go and cut out this filler piece and this this kick panel, I'll be able to get to the back of this real easy, hammer and dolly it all nice. So yeah, that's come out pretty well. I mean, I don't think I need to get it out any further than that. Maybe this part at the bottom here a little bit. Just really rough that out, because I'm going to cut most of that off. Yeah, there. That's good. So, cut all this junk off of here now and double check my measurement. Yeah, it's actually in quite a bit further than the other side. About 1/8 of an inch, but it's probably going to spring back a little bit. I'm going to wind it up even some more here. I hear some creaking and groaning. really see that moving. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to wind it back now. Take the tension off. Tension comes off and almost right away because it's maxed out, right? And there's no real stretch in this wire, so it's mild steel. Doesn't spring back much. What do we got here? There's really no tension on that now. Yeah, that's come back all the way now. Good. Wind up before we now. So cut it off. All right. So I think you could agree that that's looking a whole lot better than when I started out. Got all the junk cut off. It's still low in here, but like I said, once I get all this stuff cut out of there, I can access that a lot easier. You know, I really thought I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fix this, and the main reason was because this really looked funny. Like, it looked like, well, it was, because this was pushed down here, this kind of rolled out here, and so it made this really look like it was flaring. And you know, I really don't know why they made this thing wider at the bottom than the top. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't follow any of the lines. I guess it kind of sort of tries to follow this line of the hood edge here a little bit, but then what's the point? I don't know why they just didn't make it a rectangle. But anyways, that's what it is. So, and that's kind of what threw me off. I thought that this was really knocked around to the point where I wasn't going to be able to get this. I thought this should have been parallel, these two pieces, and these should have been the same dimension, top and bottom. But obviously, like I said, that's the way it is. I don't have that piece with me right now. I should really get a hold of it and try it in there now. But anyways, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting out this rotten stuff. Cut that filler piece out and cut the inner rocker out. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and make this repair piece the bottom. Just like I did the other side, I'll work my way in. So anyways, I'm just going to cut this one off here now. And I'll bring you back in the next video when I'm making the parts. Thanks for watching.